So, you just got Bluebird Mark 1. You spawned in thinking you're the captain, and now all of a sudden, your own ship's out here giving you orders. What's going on here? Well, let's dive in and allow me to show you around the ship. Okay, so I just quickly turn on the power, and now I'll show you what happens after you've done that. So, as you can see, the power's on, but the AI, they're on their way to power up a reactor. They're talking about this one. To their brains, they can't distinguish, okay, that one is on and this is a backup one. They just want to come turn this one on. So, simply put, to turn on this generator, or reactor, you first got to flick that switch. I'll show you. And once it's on, then you can turn on the reactor and it will give power to the ship. If this one is off, it will forcefully shut down that reactor. And I'll quickly show you how this comes into play. So there's no way to tell them to just go away, to ignore it. So what you can do is you can just turn on the reactor and that will make them happy. Don't press automatic control, because once you do it, as you can see, this lever at the bottom, it will automatically shut it down again, and they'll eventually come back to do it. So just press a button, it will be on and everything will be fine. Okay, so with that out of the way, we can now actually start. So firstly, I'll quickly just scroll back here. Once you spawn in, you'll see the ship give you these two messages. Firstly, it says, Captain's command line closed, insert password to unlock. Everybody on the ship will be able to see this, simply put, because when you spawn in, everybody's default channel is 0, and you haven't specified a channel for the Captain's command line yet, so it defaults it to 0. So everybody will be able to see this, but it doesn't really matter. Then secondly, the other thing everybody sees is this message. It's just the ship giving a general guideline to everybody what to do. Captain, please report to emergency room. Captain's command line not set. That's what we're going to focus on now. So as the captain, once you spawn in, the first thing you'll do is you'll come over here and open these curtains, because they're in the way. So now, what we're going to focus on is these terminals. The captain's command line is focused primarily around these two terminals. So first up, let's take a look at them. The captain's channel says, Welcome Captain, please press the reset button to the side of the terminal to set a channel for the captain's command line. Currently the channel has been set to null. The passer terminal will say something in the same manner. So, as the terminal stated, these buttons to the left, they are the reset buttons. What they do is they simply open the terminal so that you can input and it will accept your input, and it just clears whatever is already there. So, as it stated, I'm quickly going to press these buttons. Now, on the terminal you'll see the channel terminal is open so it can receive input. And then please type in the channel between these two numbers to be used by the captain's command line. The passer terminal will say something in the same manner. So, as the images on the workshop state, I'll use those examples just for consistency. So as the channel, we'll use 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, the channel has been set to 1, 2, 3, 4. On the passer terminal, we'll use zap, zap. As you can see, the passer has been set to zap, zap. Okay, so now we've just set the channel and password for the captain's command line. Now if you think about it, it clearly shows here what your channel and password is. So say your second mate is out here helping you, fixing leaks at the top, anything, he can just quickly come and take a sneak peek, him or anybody else that makes it in here. For this reason, you can press this button. This button simply clears the terminal, terminal cleared. However, data is preserved. Press the button to the left to reset channel or password. As it states, it simply clears your terminals, however your data is still preserved within the ship. That simply means people can't come here and see what your channel and password is. Okay then, So what can we do with the captain's command line? Well, in this case, the captain's command line is still closed, so let's quickly unlock it. First up, we've got our channel 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll input it, and for this example, we'll save it as a preset to 9, so we can easily get back to it. Our password was zap. To input the password or any command, you can simply on your keyboard type in the R key when you're not in the text box. So I'll show you. And then you get this R, comma, point, and space. I don't know why, but if you don't have this in front of any command or password, it simply won't work. So be sure that you always have this in front. So with that said, now we can type in our password, zap, and what this is going to do is it's going to send this input, zap, through the channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see what happens. Okay, as you can see, the captain's command line is now open. This means our input went through the channel, the ship received it, and it confirmed this is the right password. So now it opened the captain's command line for you. As stated before, only you on your channel 1, 2, 3, 4 can now see this. The rest of the crew, they only saw you randomly say zap. So what this means is that if the crew puts 2 and 2 together, they might be able to determine what your password is. So, like a crazy captain, you might every now and then just want to go and say random things, just so that they might not be able to determine it. Remember, you do also still have your channel. For them to get access, they need your channel and your password. As a safety precaution, you can also just go and reset it and change your password and channel. Okay then, so now we've unlocked our captain's command line. So before we take a look at all these commands, that's the first thing I want to show you. If a captain goes and locks the command room or the emergency room, it automatically closes the command line just as another safety measure. So I'll quickly show you. Captain's command line is now closed. Insert password to unlock. Again, this is now sent only on channel 1, 2, 3, 4. So only you as a captain, if you're on this channel, will see it. If you were like on 0, you also would not have received this one. Okay, so now that the door is locked, you will notice that not even you as the captain can open this door. This is a final safety measure and precaution to prevent people from entering into emergency room. So not even people that steal your captain's key card can enter. The only way to enter is through the captain's command line. So now I'll quickly show you how to use it to unlock emergency room. So the captain's command line is currently closed. Insert password to unlock. We've already been through this. We've got our channel. So we'll quickly type in the precursor and then our password. Okay, now the captain's command line is open. This is called the emergency room. So we want to unlock it. So once you look through the commands, you'll see this EME, which stands for emergency room. It unlocks the emergency room. So we're going to use that one. Oops, space. And as you can see, the emergency room has now been unlocked. You can test it because the doors will open. This also means that in the event that the captain was idiotic enough to lock himself in here, then he can use the commands to unlock it and get himself out of here. So now you're probably wondering, what else can we do with the captain's command line? Well, first I'd like to take a break and show you this. Yes, these bots are trying to break in here because they want to repair my terminals. The problem with that is these bots aren't all too smart. You see all these delicious switch all around in the captain's command room? They don't know how to open doors, so they'll start flicking all your system switches in here. So moral of the story, you don't want to get bots in here. If you want to, you can just get some basic supplies here and try to fix it manually, or call in other players to help you with your problem. Or you can just have a second mate to help you up here. Yeah, do not let the bots in. So then, back to the captain's command line. Let's say you as captain need to go outside now. So, for safety measure, we close and lock emergency room. Secondly, let's pretend we didn't have a preset, just so that people won't be able to actually get it. So let's go out in a normal fashion, set to default 0. We leave our captain's command, close that as well. Now we're out here. So let's say while you're out here, someone ambushes you. By some dubious means you lose your keycard. How can you now still get in there? I'm not going to physically drop the keycard, this just to simulate I lost it. So you can now use your captain's command line to get back into your captain's quarters. So let's quickly go through how we'll do it. So first up, you'll have to switch back to your channel. In this case, we've already got the preset to 9. If someone did steal your headset as well, there's some headsets scattered all around the ship that you can use as a backup. So we've got our headset channel set to 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do have our password, so we're quickly going to use that. Zap zap. Now the captain's command line is open. So we want to get into the into the command room. So let's see what we've got here. Com unlocks command room. Well, if you remember, we locked the command room, so that's appropriate. So we first need to unlock the command room. Let's quickly do that. Now command room is unlocked. That blue light should be off now. But now we want to get in there as well, and this door will be locked. So now we need to open the command room. So this is then... Oh, sorry, I showed that's close command. This one is the one. Command, and then O for open. And there you have it. Now we can quickly come in here. And say you don't want anybody following you in here, you can close it as well. Command close, and there you have it. Now you're safely in your command room. Let's say you want to go get something like a spare key card for yourself. Well, first up we've got to open this one again. So this is emergency, and then it will be emergency open. And there you have it. Now you can quickly stock up, get your key card, and go back to your business. Find out who stole your key card. So, you probably also did notice there is a back door into the captain's quarters. So, if you can get like a medic or a security guard to help you get in here, you can also enter from back here. Or obviously exit command from back here. In the same way, I'll quickly show you how to enter through here. So, first up, this door is locked. It's got this dark blue light, which means this room falls under the same category as the command room. So, to unlock this one, first up, we've got to open the command line. Now it's open. Since this falls under the same category, it will be command. So, com to unlock the door. As you can see, the blue light just turned off. But now we need to open this one, because apparently we don't have our key card. So, command open, and there you have it. For quality of life, I did put in a switch down here as well, just so that you can close it even if you don't have a key card. But this one will only close it. So, once you are in here, now we need to get up here. This blue light warns us that this door is still not working. So, oh, I accidentally closed it again. So, and anyway, now the captain's command line is open, and we want to get in here. So first we've got to unlock it. So, emergency. There you can see the blue light just turned off, and we can see the yellow light coming through. So now we just need to open it. Emergency open. There you have it. The back door into emergency room. And that's basically the captain's command line explained. Okay, so now then, what's with all these locks? What's with all these doors? If you think about it, anybody with decent electrical wiring knowledge can quickly unwire these doors to open. If you've got a plasma cutter, you can cut through all three of them at the same time. So then, what is the purpose behind them? Well, allow me to show you. Are you ready, Jimmy?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Good. So then, I'll quickly activate the button and you'll see what happens. So now, say we've got a trespasser in here. Little Jimmy that's not where he's supposed to be. Exactly that happens. So basically, this door is more just to prevent the captain from accidentally walking in when he shouldn't. Timer systems and everything in there are designed to constantly immobilize the person once they're in there, to allow security to come here and just to capture the guy. And that's basically the story behind all these doors. If you don't want them to die, you can quickly unlock it in the traditional sense. And there you go. Now we won't get zapped anymore. How was that, Jimmy? It hurt, Captain. And this is what happens when you don't read the instructions. This man clearly did not know how to use the deep dive override lever. Once the ship enters deep dive mode, this entire room becomes an extra ballast tank. For safety reasons, this door is then locked to prevent the ship from flooding. However, say someone needs to get in here, or they are trapped in here during deep dive mode, they can use this lever to quickly override the lock and get in or out. They've got 5 seconds to do so, so be quick. I'll just quickly take out this body. Jimmy, what are you doing in there? Jimmy, answer me. You know that's my chair. Very well then. You will learn pain. Yes, that's right. The captain's command room is also electrified. Just an additional security measure to prevent people from sabotaging the ship when the captain is out. Yep, just as it should be. Alright then, so with all of that settled, let's take a look at what's going on in the captain's command room. Let's start with the searchlights. I'll quickly turn them off initially. So, first up, as you can see, by left clicking you can cycle through the cameras all around the ship. But at the moment we can't see anything, so let's quickly change that. Now the lights have been turned on. As you can see, I'm not directly controlling this light. This ship uses a different type of lighting system, more like a searchlight or lighthouse type of lighting. The idea behind this is, in order for the cams to move faster all around the ship, you sacrifice your ability to physically control them. But the idea behind this is so that you can quickly see what's going on all around the ship. For now, I'll quickly turn them off again. So then, let's take a look at this button, the weapons button. This is a simple one. It simply arms or disarms the weapons outside. Currently, if you take a look outside, since the searchlights are off now as well, it's pitch black outside. But if I arm the weapons now, you'll see their lights have come on. So if you do need to get an eye and manually control it, you can arm the weapons and just use the guns to see what's going on around the ship. In addition, this helps to show the crew when the weapons are armed or not. Say the captain forgot to arm the weapons and the ship is not in combat mode, then the crew will quickly see the lights are off and let the captain arm the weapons. The reason for this switch is simply in case someone is wasting ammo or a bot is shooting and stuff he shouldn't, then you can just take away their ability to shoot. Next up, we've got the ship's combat mode. Oh boy. So, quickly before I activate combat mode, it is highly advised that you do have at least 3 engineers in reactor and engine room to take the full strain of what's coming when you activate combat mode. And I'll use this opportunity to show you the honorary captain's cards on the ship. So, if I quickly drop this one, to see as I hover over it. Honorary Engineer's Key card. I spawned in these two assistants to show you we're going to use them to aid our engineer Jimmy to repair the ship once I activate combat mode. So these cards give access based on the honorary position. So these are honorary engineer's key cards, so they give access to the same degree as our engineer Jimmy already has. So I'll quickly give them their key cards. And I will leave it to them. Okay then, so before we start the combat mode, let's quickly get the ship up and running first. As you can hear, the engines are moving at a pace. We're slowly building up velocity. So then, as the ship is building up its speed, I'll quickly tell you what the surge protection button does. So, as you'll later come to find out, combat mode works because of its inherent systems. The junction boxes on this ship are inherently weaker. That means it's possible to overload the entire ship in one foul swoop, blowing all the junction boxes. That is excluding the backup junction boxes, of course. This surge protection keeps that from happening. When the ship detects an overvoltage, the fusion rate is immediately cut down. This means the junction boxes are spared from blowing. However, they do still take a slight amount of damage. One side effect of this surge protection is that every now and then the power will cut out for a slight second. This is intended as a balancing method for the surge protection button. If a captain is confident that he can steer the ship without it, then go ahead, but if the ship blows up, it's on your head. So now then, the ship has reached its top velocity of 14 to 15 km/h. It varies round about here. So we will now activate combat mode and see what happens. Once the ship enters combat mode, you'll notice the red characteristic lights all over the ship, along with the white floor lights which aid with sight, as well as the war alarm that goes off. This is to notify the crew that the ship is now entering combat mode and that they should act accordingly. Once the ship enters combat mode, the ship power is directed to combat systems, which is primarily focused on releasing the limiters on the ship's engines to allow full thrust. This puts a lot of strain on the ship's systems, and as such, constant repairs of junction boxes will be needed, management of which box to repair and when will be key. Beware of fires. Just quickly help them out here. Ah, I see. I think they did blow one of the boxes, so I probably couldn't get the repairs. During combat mode, the ship's automatic reactor controller is activated to prevent a total overload and optimize the ship's power during combat. Utilities such as O2 generators, fabricators and deconstructors are also disconnected from the grid and will run on the reactor batteries. When the O2 in important rooms such as the engine, gun control room or command room drops too low, the O2 generator will start up using the batteries. In other sections, however, attention should be given to O2 readings. Keeping diving masks close by is advised. The reason combat mode is assembled the way it is to provide an effective way for the ship to engage in combat, while not inherently making the ship overpowered and giving it a sense of balance. The strain of the junction boxes is specifically designed to prevent abusing of combat mode. Even with this, an experienced crew might be able to push the ship to her limits in engine room. For this reason, the battery-powered utilities is also used, so that even an advanced crew, though they may be able to push her beyond her limit, cannot do so forever. Okay then, so the last important thing for me to show you is this diving mode button. So currently, as it says, diving is normal. What this button does is once you activate it, this room turns into an additional ballast tank for the ship. As previously described, there's a lock override in case someone needs to get in or out during deep dive mode. So, the reason for this button is, since the ship is so large and has so much air all over, it has a bit of trouble diving. But, say you've got a current pushing you up, then you can use this button. This helps the ship to dive a lot deeper. So let's quickly take a look. When the ship is told to dive directly down, the ballast tanks are completely full. Let's see which descent velocity we reach. You do not have to worry about the flooding noises. This is just a result of these inspection hatches. If you do not like the sound, you can simply close them. As you can hear, the sound is now gone. So, as you can see, the ship reached a max descent velocity of 9 kilometers per hour. So, now let's see what happens when we activate this button. As you can see, water is flooding in from above, the duct locks have opened. This has now become an additional ballast tank. That door is locked by the system, and this pump has now been converted into a ballast pump and is connected to the terminal. I'll quickly show you now. So, for safety obviously, this door cannot open while in deep dive mode. So now, we've reached a top descent velocity of 15 kilometers per hour. And now, when I tell the ship to go up, if you take a look here, you can see the duct locks have now closed, and this water level is going down. That pump is now actively part of the ballast system. So now, I'm quickly going to fill up the diving room again. Now, I'll quickly disable this one. So as you can see, the pump is still pumping up the water, but say we need to get the water out quickly. Then you can use this clear diving room button, which opens those hatches and lets the water quickly flow through the ship into the bottom ballast tanks, which is a lot quicker than using this small pump. That's the gist of the diving mode. Okay then, so now for these refuel stations that you've been seeing all over the ship. So, just like an oxygen generator needs repairs, I found it kind of overpowered that you can just hook up power to the oxygen racks and they'll give power without any defects. So I went and assembled this thing. So basically, it's powered by the battery that you see at the back here, which then is used to create oxygen for these tanks. So I've quickly got 3 empty ones here, and I'll show you what I mean. So first up, you can fill these racks up. Then to start pumping them, as you can see, nothing's happening with them. You can press these buttons. You'll see the green light going on, and that means that this machine is now active. It's pumping in air into these tanks. You just gotta give it a sec, takes a bit, there it starts now. So yeah, as you can see, it's going down, and as it's pumping in, you'll see the battery charge starting to go down. So now, you'll also have to time it. You can't just spam it, because after you've used it, you'll have to give it some time to fill up the battery again. Otherwise, you'll only get half full tanks or somewhere in that line. And I just felt this a lot more balanced than just hooking up every oxygen rack in the ship and using that. If you want, you can still hook that up and go that way if that's your choice. So yeah, that's for oxygen racks, and obviously you can use a back battery as a battery charger as well. Do note, once the ship is in combat mode, this battery can only be charged by the other battery system, so it won't be directly powered by the reactor in combat mode. So use your batteries in the reactor room sparingly. Is it just me, or is it a bit dark in here? Well, you can go and turn on these lights probably, but still. Just feels a bit weird that you need all 3 lights to get light in here, right? What's going on? Well, I'll quickly show you the ship's dynamic lighting. I'm talking about the inside lighting, not outside. So basically this ship works in a manner that as your fuel goes down, your light level will also go down, almost like a visual cue. This also helps to, how should I put it, encourage good engineers that know how the reactor work. They'll be more praised by the crew than some incompetent crew that just throw in one reactor and you'll have to work with low light. So I'll quickly show you what I mean. Let's quickly swap to one of the engineers down here. Oh yeah, don't mind this. They kept running around the ship and I wanted them in here, so I locked them in. Where's my... Yes, Jimmy. So currently there's 2 fuel rods in here. I've also got this additional one. So I'll quickly take out this one and show you. Notice how the lights immediately went even more dim. Oh, just give it a second. Okay, there. You can see, let's quickly take a look at the... what do you call it? The security. Now it's even darker in here. You'll notice you can still see, but it's a lot darker. The idea behind this is I specifically wanted to encourage people to use tools like flashlights and stuff more and more, and to help give atmosphere to the ship. So this is exactly what this system was designed for. So now I'll quickly show you if we put in more reactor fuel. So currently it's got this fuel rod and it's on 75%, but now we have this one. This is how it was when I started showing you. You can see here. Oh yeah, and obviously you've got to manage your reactor as well. This is exactly what I was talking about. Basically this ship will probably value experienced engineers. It's not just some auto reactor controller. Okay, I'll quickly add in the third one. First, let's quickly just control it. Okay, it's stable. So now you can see it's even more bright than before. Even here now it's actually decently bright. Like you could say it's not even necessary to use these lights now. Yeah, there's a bit bright now. So yeah, you get the idea. That's the purpose behind this. I'm just quickly going to fix all the items on the ship. So yeah, that's just behind these changing light values. Just gonna take out one fuel rod. That's actually a bit too bright for me, for my liking. I like it this way. Okay, that's it then. Okay, up next is the camera room. So, clearly you can see here's a camera and here's a camera. Then you've got these cam cycle buttons that cycles through sections of the ship. Each cam cycle has about 3 cameras that you can rotate through. So I'll quickly show you what I'm talking about. Currently, both are set on engine, so let's see what's going on here. As you can see here in engine, I'm currently on this camera, so it's got a red light to show to the other people, okay, this camera is active. This is just to balance the ship in terms of traitors, so that they at least have a chance of knowing what's going on at the ship. Because it needs to be balanced all over. Now you can see this one is active. Now this one is active, and you can see there. So you just cycle through the cams themselves, same with the outside cameras, by left clicking. Yes, they can be, both of them can be on the same camera at the same time. It will be fine. So I'm quickly going to show you the other cycles or sections of a ship. So here we've got medical. We've got the top side of medical. That door was left open. We've got this one that can see through the center hallway of a ship. And then we've got the one looking at grow room. Then we've got lower. Lower as in looking at the lower side of a ship. The ballast tanks. The center side of a ship, and usually these hatches are open. Only security can open them as well. This just so that they can see what's going on down there. And then this one. Then we've got the last one, the security section. As the name says, security in terms of like looking at the security for the captain over here in the diving room. Then the prison area. and the gun room, because from here you can see if anybody's trying to break into Armory. And that's it. Okay, so another thing to notice with this ship is it doesn't have emergency lights in the traditional sense, like 24/7 lights as other ships. So I'll quickly show you here. Let's quickly turn off the reactor. So now you can see it's actually pitch black all over. You can only see in around your general proximity, almost as if your character's feeling around. So like here's a character right in front here. But if you're standing here, you can't see him at all. We only know he's there because of his name tag. This sets up the ship in a way so that people can actually plan ambushes. You can like go in this corner, plan if someone comes up there. You get the idea. Again, it's to help with atmosphere. And with that, I'll quickly come to the security guard over here. So all over the ship, you've got these emergency lights that work with a timer. You've got to manually go to them and activate them, and they'll only stay on for a certain amount of time. So like in this case, say you've got to get to the furthest ballast to know what's going on. What if there are monsters in here? It's actually kind of hard to tell. That's exactly what this aims for, just to give that atmosphere. So now you've manually got to walk over there and turn them on. Depending on how important the emergency light in its location is the determining factor on how long they will be active. I believe a maximum amount of time is like 1 minute. As you can see, this one is already turned off. If you think about, say for security, to have a light in camera room, it's not that important. So this one is only a little bit on and then it will go off again. Same this side. If you think when the power is out, you won't spend all your time in Armory, so this one won't be on for too long. So yeah, that's the dark mode of this ship. Okay, now time to show the Jettison Chamber. Say you've just had someone go out and they might have had an encounter with husks. So they then come to the front of the ship where they will be inspected. So first up, the chamber is currently locked and you've got your guys out here that want to get in. So first you've got to unlock it and then you can open the door for them to come in. Okay, as you can see, both of them are in now. You can close the door, but then you want to activate the inspection procedure. What this simply does, it just closes that door and prevents the other one from opening. And now you can start your inspection procedure. So you're going to need your health scanner to use this. So once they are down there, you can open this hatch. There's no way for them coming up and they can't open that door. So now you up here as a medic, you have the authority. So first up, all of them need to stand to the right side. And now one by one, they can move to the front. So as a medical doctor, you can say who goes. In this case, you can say, Carrie, move up. Then Carrie can first move up to the side. You as a doctor can then check, okay, there's nothing wrong with Carrie. I'll open the back door and then they can move through. Should someone else, for some strange reason, say they've got husk infection and they then also rush through, even though they shouldn't, this door is locked and they can't open it. That's what the inspection procedure is for. So in this case, okay, Carrie was cleared, Carrie walked through. As the medic, you now close this door and then the next person goes up. Alonzo, walk up. Alonzo walks up. In this case there are only two, but say there's a few people, then this just helps the doc to see them individually. So now, okay, this person has an opiate addiction, an opiate withdrawal, but no husk or any lethal thing. So they're clear, they can move up. Now, okay, we're fine. That door can be unlocked, you can close these, or if you, even in this case, if you kept them open, you can just close the Jettison Chamber and the entire thing is now locked. And that's basically the inspection chamber for you. The end. End.